illegal Israeli settlement. This means that innocent Israeli civilians moved here, forced the Palestinians out through violence or threat of violence, and they did this while being protected by the IOF, the Israeli Occupation Forces. As a reminder, this is in the West Bank. There is no Hamas here, and the Israelis steal more land in this fashion every single day, and they do this while dangling the two-state solution over our heads. That's like me and you arguing over how we're going to split a pizza while I am actively eating more slices. The Ariel settlement borders two Palestinian villages. Over here is Mirda, and on the other side of the hill is Salfit. Now pay attention to how these villages are positioned topographically. Ariel is up high, while the Palestinian villages are down low. And there's a couple of reasons for this. One, the Israelis want to look down on the Palestinians. Not only in the white supremacist type of way, but also in the surveillance type of way. They want to monitor
flamethrower.
The other reason for this topographical
30 damage, attack range of 3.
It makes it easier for the Israelis to weaponize their poop. Israelis in these settlements will intentionally divert their wastewater down the hills, down the slopes, so that they flow into Palestinian villages and contaminate their water supply. The Israelis also bombed the only sewage treatment plant in Gaza
0.5 per second, so 1 every 2 seconds.
They didn't do it because it was a Hamas operating base. They did this because they wanted to inflict maximum suffering on the Palestinians to make conditions completely unlivable.
Okay, we can figure out what happens with this.
Their own feces, and they did this.
No, there's way
well
like, dude, it's like comical. It's comical. It's like, especially if you have a state doing this and then being like, "We're doing this for Jews." Trust me, like all Jews want this. Like we love doing this kind of genocide specifically for Jews, and you repeat that over and over again. Motherfuckers like, what the hell's going on? I hate this. Like, if you watch this from the other side of the world, you would look at this and go, what the fuck? You have to be the most anti-Semitic motherfucker on the planet. Why would you in a million years ever have the audacity to fucking connect these inhumane acts of violence and subjugation and humiliation to a group of people that have been historically oppressed, you fucking psycho? Which is why I always say Israel does not make Jewish people safe. It makes Jewish people unsafe.
Prez, thank you for the raid. Yeah, we're gonna watch Fear Ant tomorrow. Exactly. Fledgling. We're gonna do that tomorrow. We're gonna do bingo with it as well. We'll make the bingo before we watch it. Thank you, Prez. Thank you for the raid. I hope you had a really good stream.
Literally makes the entire world less safe for Jewish people by constantly conflating all of its actions, all of its inhumanity, and all of its fucking cruelty in the maintenance of an apartheid regime with Jewish people across the fucking world. It's crazy, and it's not even true. It's not self-sabotaging right now? What do you mean, why? Yeah, 9/11 was definitely... 9/11 was a moment where everyone in New York was not safe. I'm saying that literally, like, unless you have fucking rockets being lobbed over your head, and the only time where that hasn't happened is, like, on 9/11. It wasn't even a fucking joke. It's just the truth. I'm being objective about it.
3K in Suika, that's sick.
Anyway.
That it would increase the likelihood of fecal-borne diseases. This is bioterrorism. There's no other way to put it. The Israelis are weaponizing biological agents to inflict suffering on a population, a civilian population. And this point is made even more salient when you consider the current Israeli assault on the Palestinian medical system.
Try like number of rolls damage of the tower, okay?
Of E. coli, cholera, dysentery, and there's not even any doctors or medical supplies to treat those things.
Yeah, this game.
And the Israelis flinging their poop far from encompasses their entire agenda.
Using LB stream so I don't have to watch ads
on
the sun.
To talk about how they encompass horticulture into their campaign of ethnic cleansing. As a reminder, please continue the boycott of Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and also continue boycotting any...
This guy's awesome. I hope he's not weird. It was a great video.
You're out of range. Oh no. Okay, we've got some serious problems.
My reaction to every TikTok I
No.
like. Yeah. I mean, that was correct. Popped off on that.
Okay.
I'm reading some news articles that say the spray is not sewage, but an artificial chemical skunk walk. Nice. Glad you like it, bud. Why'd you say that? Is that you? Are you this person? Am I watching your TikTok? Anyway. Oh, scoop. From Israel Khan News, Netanyahu, the fellow Likud member, said, I'm the only one who will prevent a Palestinian state in Gaza, Judea, and Samaria. I'm the only one who can withstand U.S. pressure. I know Biden for 40 years. I know how to manage American public opinion.
Thanks. Tommy, OG, you got me. Top of the hour ad break. You got me.
This is a man who has realized that his position of prominence is now being held up to an amount of scrutiny that he's not used to. He's just fucking flinging all the way down. This has never been about security. Yeah, I mean, it's correct. Not looking too good for our boy Bibi out here, okay? But he's also openly revealing that he does not give a shit about the security part. He's just like literally personally trying to fucking
Bro,
stop
that's terrible.
But let's continue.
Nearly 100% conviction rate. She
I don't like
pled
any of
guilty,
either of any of
She
these.
was initially sentenced to 13 years in an Israeli jail.
We're just gonna have to take lots of these dice things, to be honest with you.
I want to look up her story as well, because like, it's so much easier to just be like, yeah, every single Palestinian is just like guilty of terrorism, than to like look at each individual action and what they did. Like, obviously, not every single person is like 100% purely innocent in this situation. It's never going to be that way.
No innocent
But,
victims.
you know, you have to contextualize this kind of violence. Within the structures of oppression that exist under an apartheid regime. Okay?
Okay, let's see.
Let's see what she did, because I think there was video. A girl entered Israeli prisons and a young woman came out. Get to know the
OG, my juicer.
A 10th grade student entered prison, and a 24-year-old girl emerged carrying traces of the 3 bullets in her body that penetrated her back, leg, and abdomen while she was suffering from one of them until this moment, which had become lodged in her liver. She is Nurhan Awad, who was among 39 male and female prisoners Israel released Saturday, as a part of the truce agreement with the Hamas movement, which lasts for 4 days, during which the fighting stops and during which the two parties exchanged some of their detainees. Awad obtained her high school diploma while in prison with a grade of 94% so that she could enroll in the Al-Quds Open University to major in history. According to local reports, the Israeli authorities charged the Palestinian girl with carrying out a stabbing attack on the Jaffa Street in Jerusalem, while an Israeli court sentenced her to 13.5 years in prison and a fine of 30,000 shekels. However, she obtained an appeal to reduce the period of 3.5 years from the term she was sentenced to. So what happened? What does she do? Like, what? There's a video evidence of it. Someone give me the... Like, what she did. Among them was Mohammed Darwish, who was held in an Israeli jail for 7 months, accused of throwing a petrol bomb at soldiers. He denies the charge. He said he was dizzy with happiness. Most are in prison waiting a trial. Isra Jabis.
Fuck it, let's go.
Holy shit, Nurhan Awad, 23,
they just randomly will damage,
do
damage.
Being released on Saturday.
Nothing is gonna get through, dude. I think the thing is with this game is just you need lots of like small things that just attack and go bananas mode.
Okay, Miss Nurhan Awad, what the fuck?
Sick.
Was arrested on 23rd of November 2015, in which the Israeli occupation forces shot her 4 times, once in the left leg, 3 times on the right side of her stomach. She still suffers from the gunshot wounds. The Israeli District Court in Jerusalem sentenced Miss Nurhan.
These are still shit.
She was wounded and a minor to 10 years of imprisonment. Palestinian women. Wait, it doesn't say anything. It just says what the charges are. I want to know what like the actual I want to know what Israel says
is
she
very
did,
difficult
and
to
then I want to
use,
see what
but
she
fuck it,
actually
we'll
did
try it.
to better understand. Not that it fucking matters, because again,
Yeah, I didn't get any ice
no
options
correct
though.
due process here. I'm literally wounded and a minor. Yeah. State seeks 15-year sentence for teen scissors attacker. So wait, she didn't even have a fucking knife? State prosecutors are demanding a 15-year jail sentence for a Palestinian teenage girl who tried to stab passersby with scissors in central Jerusalem. Nurhan Awad, now 17, was accompanied by her 14-year-old cousin, Hadil Awad, who was shot dead during the incident. Prosecution secured Nurhan Awad's agreement to a plea bargain in which she had confessed to
we'll
attempted
take that.
murder. Which, by the way, those confessions are extracted under torturous conditions. I want you to
Initial
understand
health
that.
of fire source increased by 5 points, and you also learn fire enhancement tool increase 5.
You're trying to find out what
After
happened,
mastering
not
the
what she
elements,
did. Yeah, I want both.
Fast down at EXP.
Fun fact, this young woman was 16.
All
She's
towers have
not
5%
stabbing anyone.
chance
She was
critically
accused by
hit,
the
dealing
IOF
an
forces. She
additional
was searched
yes.
and had a knife on her person. No, this is not Awad. You're looking at Marah Bakir, which I have covered. Okay? This is a different person.
Fire
Please.
mastery.
This is a different person. Now you're linking me Ahed Tamimi. That's a different person too. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Yes, I know. There are so many fucking 16-year-olds. There are so many fucking 16-year-olds that Israel imprisons on a daily basis. Many of which under similar circumstances where they just say, oh, she stabbed someone when she definitely didn't. And I know that is the reason
During
why
phase,
some of you are having a hard time finding the actual one. But ultimately, you know, at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. And that is going to be the case here as well. If you
Immediately, I need to block
all you
this
need
off
to do is
here.
subscribe for $5 or for free. With a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account where you get 1 free Prime subscription a month. Use it on your favorite broadcaster.
Just doing that for good measure.
Here's the 3-minute ad break now.
Okay.
Anyway, Nurhan Awad. In the latest years, the Palestinian children who have been subject to extremely lengthy prison sentences. Nurhan, a Palestinian refugee from the Qalandia camp, have been in prison for 1 year and charged $7,000 in fines.
They're all gonna have to pass
Her cousin,
through
14,
here.
was shot dead by the Israeli occupation forces on the same day at close range. She lay injured on the ground.
We'll figure it out.
Nurhan and Hadil were accused of attempting to stab a
out.
man with scissors. Oh, fuck. Oh, actually, this is good. Maybe this article will have more details. In this case, a lightly injured 70-year-old Palestinian man. Wait, what?
6? That's okay, that's really good.
She was actually attacking a Palestinian man?
1, okay, really mid.
The event was captured on video. Nurhan stood in place holding a pair of scissors. She was hit from behind a chair. She was hit from behind by a chair and she laid injured on the ground.
Okay,
she was shot again at close range. Nurhan was severely injured after taking 2 bullets in her chest. After her cousin extrajudicially executed, Nurhan was in prison. Her case is strikingly similar to Ahmed Manazra, who was sentenced to a 12-year prison sentence. So what was it? There are over 400,000. Samidun Palestinian Solidarity Network. Okay. Schoolgirls filed into the living room, backpacks in their shoulders, with 9th graders embraced Maliha Awad for kissed on her own cheek. May she rest in peace. The girls whispered. Okay, where is the actual... In the video footage recorded that morning on Jaffa Street, a thoroughfare in the West Jerusalem, Hadil is seen wearing a school uniform and a white hijab alongside Nurhan. Suddenly, Hadil turns towards a nearby pedestrian, her arm raised at head level, wielding what appears to be a pair of scissors. She springs towards the man, who reaches for his waist and pulls out what appears to be a handgun. He points it at Hadil while retreating from her. Meanwhile, Nurhan stands in place, apparently holding a pair of scissors in the air. A man in a black t-shirt emerges from a parked white car with a handgun and shoots Nurhan. Another man hits her with a chair. The pedestrian appears to fire a shot at Hadil, who stumbles and falls to the ground. The man in the black t-shirt then fires multiple shots at Hadil from close range as she lies on the ground, before returning to Nurhan, who is also lying on the ground. He shoots her again at close range. Nurhan was shot twice, was taken to the hospital where she remained on Friday, prohibited from speaking with her family. Hadil, who was shot 4 times in the upper body, was pronounced dead on Wednesday. In the moments before the video was taken, the girls attacked a 70-year-old Palestinian man with scissors. In an apparent case of mistaken identity, he was lightly wounded. The footage has troubled the Awad family, who believe that the armed men used excessive force against the teenagers. Yeah, they did. They literally did. If the only way that you can fucking retaliate towards 2 teenagers with scissors is by executing them in fucking broad daylight, you are a psychopath. Okay? You're a psychopath. You're a psychopathic monster. Fuck you. Okay? God damn it. It's so ironic that I talk about this all the goddamn fucking time about black people in America. Fuck. And then the same dumb motherfuckers literally look at this. The same dumb motherfuckers look at this situation and go,
No.
guess what, dude? It's totally valid to kill black children like that, too. They shouldn't be terrorists because it's the same fucking principle behind it. Jesus Christ. Fuck.
Okay. I want to be able to place you.
They fucking executed him.
Aren't though. Fuck.
The other case is much worse.
You know what? We just do tons of
The
this
other
shit,
case
dude.
is much worse than this. Where
Bro, come on, you
settler
can't just be
accuses,
getting one.
The lady, not even lady, the little girl, she's like fucking 14 or 15 or 16. Yeah, a policeman shot Hadil to death and Nurhan, then 16 was seriously wounded. The policeman was investigated on suspicion of having shot Nurhan despite her posing no danger. She was sentenced to 10 years in prison. He was not. For the record. The policeman who fucking shot and killed the 14-year-old and then
Okay, great.
or the other one that shot Nurhan. She didn't even have the scissors in her hand at that point apparently.
Let's see.
Didn't actually get any fucking prison sentence. The person who stabbed the 70-year-old with the scissors got 10 years.
They they are tricky to place initially. But look at that, they just annihilate.
The other situation is just like completely unacceptable. The one where the one where the lady was the girl was literally shot at under the suspicion that she's under the suspicion that she's interested in stabbing people. They just fucking shot her 10 times in her arm. Okay? Ridiculous.
Israel's military court system that the UN says has a nearly 100% conviction rate, she later pled guilty and told us she was initially sentenced to 13 years in an Israeli jail.
What do you want the world to know about your experience?
That it was very difficult, but I learned a lot, she says. I now understand the value of many things that I did not appreciate before prison.
Like what?
Like the value of freedom and of sunlight.
Aww.
And according to the advocacy group, the Palestinian Prisoners Club, Israel is now holding a record high of 2,200 Palestinians in what's known as administrative detention, which is basically arrest without charge or trial, potentially indefinitely, a deeply controversial policy that Israel defends as a counter-terrorism measure. Gail.
Okay.
All right, MTS Tayeb, we thank you.
What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? You have like, you literally, what are the Palestinians supposed to do, chat? What are you supposed to do?
Bro, they do just poison
him. It's not
him.
controversial. It's fucking evil, man. Straight up. It's abhorrent. It's morally abhorrent. Like, the best process you will have is if you are fortunate enough, if you're like committing your acts, committing your acts of being suspected to be a Palestinian in near a checkpoint or whatever in Jerusalem, then you might actually get like the Israeli courts applied to you later down the line, or the Israeli Supreme Court. Remember, it has an Arab in it, so it's super woke. But usually it's like administrative detention, which is indefinite with no evidence whatsoever. But if you do actually go through the military court structure, if you go through the military court, then 100%, almost 100% conviction rate. Okay. And they're using bullshit ass evidence. Like, I found out, and I didn't know this at the time. I didn't know this yesterday, but that lady who had her face burned off. The Israeli government and the Israeli military did not conduct a thorough investigation into whether her car fucking manufactured and caught on fire, and just straight up simply said, yeah, she's a terrorist. It was a suicide bomb. A suicide bomb that simply did not explode, by the way. Surprisingly. It's just, you know. But again, it's just like, did I say manufactured? Malfunction. Oh my god, my
these
fucking
cards are
brain is
really
actually
mid.
breaking today. I took one fucking day off, and unironically, it's breaking. My brain is bricking. What are you supposed to do? It's so crazy that they just like, they will take these ridiculous convictions, by the way.
Well, folks, the media have a brand new...
Oh, here it is. Oh, my favorite. Oh, here we go. Love to see it. Love to see what Ben has to say about this.
Terrible argument. Their argument is that when Israel trades terrorists for innocent Israeli civilians, that's because the innocent Israeli civilians and the terrorists are basically the same. Over the weekend, there's been this series of massive hostage exchanges between Hamas and Israel. So this weekend saw Hamas release some of the 240 hostages that the terror group took during its mass killing spree on October 7th. They released 13 Israeli hostages the first day. That was Friday. 13 more hostages on Saturday. 17
What's interesting here is that, like, yeah, of course, Hamas doesn't have the capacity to fucking, you know, hold Israelis under administrative detention because Hamas doesn't
Just in
occupy
case.
Israel in the way that Israel occupies Gaza and the West Bank. You know what I mean? It's just so fucking stupid to be like, oh, well, it seems like you're making a false equivalence between babies and actual criminal terrorist babies.
But
Are you assuming
could
right
just go
now?
ham on it
Do you think
and
I'm
be like,
assuming when I
fuck it.
say Hamas does not occupy Israel in the way that fucking
Like,
Israel
just
occupies
pump
the West Bank and
everything.
Gaza?
Just
Are you
die.
that stupid
Literally. Look at
that
this.
you think that that is an assumption? The only reason why you would think that that's an assumption is if you have literally no
Insane,
understanding
dude.
of the fucking history of Israel or Palestine whatsoever, and you simply come in here to fucking shit stir without any political knowledge whatsoever in a political commentator's chat. It is so fucking brain dead.
'Cause if we
You
get-
are basically
I
demonstrating to 22,117 people in the chat right now that aren't you, that you're just a fucking idiot, a baboon, a moron, who has no opinion on the matter whatsoever and is simply in here to shit stir. Don't say don't run out of breath, you fucking dumbass. Oh my god, a 10-month subscriber, I'm gonna fucking die. How could you be so goddamn stupid? You're talking head for the liberal West, Lamau. You're fat, Hippie Hagrid says on 11/7. You're fat? You must be assuming because I refuse to look at the facts. Head of the Lebanese Forces Party, it is best for Hassan Nasrallah to withdraw from the south and hand it over to the Lebanese army. Occupy Russia because Ukrainians and Russians are one people. You has been doing it, everyone's doing it. You won't stop the violent. What? How did this guy's brain break? Like, how did
Bro,
it
they're
leak out of his
this
fucking
is
ear?
insane.
I want to know.
They
I need
literally
to
are just
understand.
dying. That was a mid-wave. I do have Lethal Company, yes, but I can't really play right now. I can't do that right now on your
How?
leftist. I'm gonna have
Also,
to go to bed in a
is
bit.
he like fucking pro-Russia and
But I do. I'd love to
and
play sometime.
anti-Palestinian? Like, I don't understand.
Frost Tower is very good.
Hey, Hassan, I've stolen a shipment of Sputnik vaccines from our local train yard. I've been injecting myself for 2 days for a few months now. Should I be safe? I mean, he's like memeing and shit. Like, look at this guy from 12/22 onward has literally
this one,
routinely
okay.
just said, is that another assumption? Hassan, is that another assumption, Hassan? Waiting for the fucking opportunity that I actually pay attention to him.
Okay.
That's so sad, man. That's so sad. Why are you like this? How? What happens? Like, you watch one video after fucking spending 10 months in here and being and you go, you know what? I actually agree with this. Also, you're fat. Or how? Because there is a turning point, and I do want to understand like where that fucking brain rot comes from. As a 2014 account, as a grown ass person, I know most of these fucking weirdos are. I guess he's like maybe like weirdly, I don't know, Lebanese Christian or something, and like very weirdly pro-Israel, anti-Palestinian. I don't know what it is.
The dice thing is actually really good.
Russia,
It's like really, really
weird.
good. I'm going to actually just start cutting these off. Because at the moment, I need them all to come in.
Hassan haters are the biggest Hasanabi heads. No, a lot of my haters do start off as Hasanabi heads, and then I fucking say something that they like are emotionally invested in, and then they just lose their fucking minds. They literally forget every other thing that they agree with me on and become my
like
lifelong
me. Now I'm a
haters
Hassan hater, according to some
will
people
come
on
in to
Twitter.
specifically derail the conversation in ways that I understand to be successful because they've been in here for a very long time. And I'm fascinated with the subject because it's like, how the fuck does that happen to someone? Like, I've never... like, there are so many people that make content that I disagree with on a regular fucking basis that I never... Like, I always try to understand, like, what is the deeper desire behind why they have this perspective? You know what I mean? Like, what's the major pivot point? Look at this. Hassan, what's your handler's name? Like, he's just schizophrenic, I think. Braces?
Hassan's got to stop saying that, man.
I don't get
I
it.
know you won't. Like, his only L. Yeah, this should be fine.
Did I say on a regular basis? Oh my god. Fuck you guys. Shut up.
Yeah, I know. I hate it too.
Yeah, I have so many different, like, I have so many different types of haters that I wonder where they're coming from. But I guess they always just, like, unite on fuck Hassan as a narrative. Like, you could be a Jimmy Dore fan.
Like, the thing is, we all know, like, if he like actually understood how it like hurt people, he would stop.
Ultimately,
you know?
you find
and that you just have to remember that, like, it's not nice to have to give people excuses, but it is like that is
like, yeah, fuck Hassan.
True. Like,
Chat
you know,
mad
it
they
is
can't
something he needs
categorize
to.
me? Yes, bro. Your fucking brain disease is so vast. Oh, you're such a typical fucking. Guess what? I'm actually a heterodox thinker ass dumbass, dude. Jesus Christ. Hassan unites the right? Yes. Anyone to the right of me, oftentimes, on a long enough timeline, anyone to the right of me, even marginally, will fucking despise me as the major enemy. Nothing worse than me from their perspective. You know?
One of his biggest L's. You know what?
From an outside perspective, I'm new, and it could be mostly
Yeah.
just attacking because you have leverage here, and they go off because you seem to be doing well in life. If you had half a leg, they'd be up your ass. I guess.
Anyway, let's not go on about it for too long, because I just,
Well, also people to your left sometimes, nah. The people that are ostensibly to my left are just fucking, you know, they're crazy.
And look, Hassan has admitted it's a problem, and he did say,
Anyway.
like, he has said it's something that needs to be phased out.
There's people I watch on the norm, and it's not like I need
So
to
it's
see their
not like he
viewpoint,
doesn't
agree 100%.
recognize it,
People
it's
really
just
need to have
more a
mind
case
their
of,
own.
like-
I know. I think this guy might be like a Jimmy Dore
It's
guy
so
who's like, I'm a
accepted,
heterodox
you know?
thinker, which is also another substitute for being fucking stupid. Thinking that I have a CIA handler, dude.
Yeah, it's a very bad
Meanwhile,
habit.
motherfucker's like 30-month subscriber to The Juicer. Why don't you get your fucking takes from him then, dude? And
Yeah, it
Jimmy
has
Dore,
become a Twitch
which,
meme.
by
It's a
the way,
fucking Twitch
probably
emote,
align
dude.
on
It's
a lot
insane.
Of issues, I would assume. Their politics are both incomprehensible.
Like a very,
Hostages
very
on Sunday,
popular
bringing the current total
BTTV
to
emote.
43 hostages. Under the current break-in operations, Hamas was set to release 50 total hostages. The deal could be extended by 1 day for every 10 more hostages released. So why did the deal happen in the first place? Well, on Israel's side, the reason is pretty obvious. Israel values the life of its citizens in a way that Hamas simply does not. In fact, Israel is willing to put its own soldiers at additional risk in order to achieve the return of civilians. And by the way, even in order to protect Palestinian civilians, many of whom participated in the October 7th attacks. Because, again, reminder, Israel has complete air superiority over Gaza. They could bomb the place into total submission if Israel wanted to do so. So for Israel, the deal was painful but clear. Try to get out as many hostages as possible, even if Hamas would be temporarily strengthened. Meanwhile, what is Hamas looking for? Well, they're looking for a breather. Hamas has been absolutely pummeled. Its leadership class has been largely eliminated. Its operations in northern Gaza have been devastated.
That's really crazy that he's saying that because, like, contrary to what Israel and everyone else thought was going to happen, almost all the hostages came from northern Gaza, which literally destroys any concept, like any fucking idea that like Israel's occupation and siege this time around was a successful military operation.
I just have got like a really
Like,
good. I
I guess
understand
they
the
didn't
maze
kill
shit now.
enough fucking school children. I guess they didn't shoot enough schools. Is that what happened? Is that what it is? Like if they'd blown up another mosque or another school, I promise, bro, we would have fucking dealt the final blow to Hamas. Because look at this. According to footage broadcast by Al Jazeera, Hamas handed over some of the hostages to the Red Cross in Gaza City. In Gaza City! They were then handed over to the IDF in central Gaza and taken into Israel. The footage may indicate that the hostages were being held in Gaza City that the IDF has not yet reached.
Easy, dude.
That's insane, brother. That's insane. Like, think about that. This is what I said. I said, I don't know how anyone considers this IDF siege to be anything but an abject military failure. After their indiscriminate bombing campaign and subsequent shutdown of northern Gaza, Hamas is still seemingly operating out of the north. Weren't they under al-Shifa or all the UNRWA schools? What happened?
Okay.
That's insane. Yeah, that square itself was claimed to be controlled by Israel at this point. That's insane. The entirety of northern Gaza has supposedly been shut off. Wait, what the fuck? Ben isn't Israeli, but he says Hamas with a K. Hamas as if he speaks Hebrew. I mean, I'm sure he does. But also, remember, he is the biggest dick rider. I mean, he LARPs. He LARPs as a fucking Likudnik. He LARPs as a bibist, bro. If you listen to him, he literally sounds like a dude living in Tel Aviv that is just like, you know, ripping the fucking hostage posters because he thinks that it's like hurting Benjamin Netanyahu's political chances. He's insane.
Hamas wants a few benefits from the temporary ceasefire. First, a break to regroup, possibly plan new operations. Second, more fuel to enhance the possibility of their survival. And this is the most important one. They want time to try to convince the world that Israel ought to leave them intact, that Israel's campaign against Hamas ought to stop. Again, that last point is the most crucial. Hamas wants the rest of the world to buy the narrative that Hamas is, in fact, a reasonable actor. Or, as we have said, the left-wing notion that Hamas, Israel, they're no different, underneath, all the same. It's just...
I need some more poison towers here.
Yeah, it is. Not a reasonable actor, a rational one. Yes, they are. I love the facts and logic guy literally being like, please, guys, do not think that the guys on the other side are human beings with like actual motivations. Right or wrong doesn't matter. Okay? No, all their motivation is just hatred of Jewish people and hatred of the Western world. Was my favorite. They like tie it back to they're coming after you next. It's like, I'm sorry, but it's very stupid. You're literally demanding your audience be stupid and trying to fucking bully them into submission. You're like, if all of you don't behave in this stupid way and you think like these guys are operating on simple hatred, they hate us because they ain't us, okay? Then you're if you don't just operate on that emotional perspective and this emotional framework, which will lead you astray time and time again.
It's just difficult to see. Anyway, let's just get rid of you.
If you don't feel that way, you're bad. You're anti-Semitic.
And you?
You're a bad guy. And it's such a stupid way to try to cut arguments for your fucking...
we haven't messed up.
Even for your fan base. No one is like, oh yeah, yay, Hamas, unless they're insane, but Hamas
we can just actually like extend this around.
If you don't play whatever game I want during recess, you hate me. Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
It is incredibly fucking childish.
Last week...
Yeah, you have to be like, no, they're orcs. Exactly. They're orcs. They're orcs. They're orcs. They don't have any reasoning. They don't have any motivations. Please, they're just orcs.
Exploitation. It's just colonization and all the rest. Now, that is a pretty hard sell after you hang glide into Israel and murder nearly 300 people at a music festival. Go house to house to burn babies in their cribs and rape their moms and slaughter civilians at will. Because here's the thing, Hamas didn't even just engage in murder of...
What happened? What happened? Why aren't you talking about the beheaded babies now, Ben? It's just odd. I don't know. He's just like, his atrocity porn changes so frequently. Why is that? Anyway. Did he say nearly 300? Last week he said 1,500? No, he's talking about 300 just at the music festival. Yeah, dude. Yeah, the framework in which Hamas operates in an act of terror on October 7th, which was an act of terror, by the way. Which we now know they didn't know that there was a music festival going on. Regardless, they still fucking shot up the place like a bunch of school shooters. Okay. All of that was an act of terror. Straight up.
Sick.
What Israel did since then is an even greater act of terror.
Drone time.
I can admit to that. Why can't you?
I do like the drones. I'm
Whether
running out
you
of
look at the
space.
sheer volume of civilians murdered, whether you look at the sheer volume of children murdered, or the children per combatant
yeah, the Obama
ratio,
strats return. Okay.
Hamas,
alright.
lesser evil. Across the board. Lesser evil than Israel. Unless you think Palestinians are lesser than Israelis. And many people who make this false equivocation, or rather don't even make them play on the same moral playing field, are they're operating from that perspective. Technically,
block this off here.
the baby murder and kidnapping to enemy combatant ratio benefits Hamas in this situation. That's it. It does. Compare October 7 to the past month and a half, or to the even before you even mentioned the Israeli occupation in general, and yeah, they have killed significantly less babies per enemy combatant than Israel.
Of civilians, they engaged in some of the worst atrocities in modern history. According to one Israeli reserve combat paramedic, this is reported by the Washington Post, he found the corpses of 2 teenage girls in their bedrooms. Quote, one was on a bed. Her arm was dangling from the bed frame. Her legs were bare with bruises. She had a bullet hole in the chest neck area. The other was lying on the floor on her stomach, her legs spread, her pants pulled down toward her knees. There was a liquid on her back that looked like semen. She was shot in the back of the head. According to a volunteer at the Shura military morgue, which was analyzing the bodies of the slain, quote, we saw many women with bloody underwear, broken bones, broken legs, broken pelvises. Another witness described a gang rape at the Nova rave, followed by the murder of the victim. Quote, he didn't pick up his pants. He shot her while inside her. So yeah, it's tough to turn Hamas into Israel's moral equivalent.
Yeah, okay, listen. This is a very nefarious way. I'm not going to discount any rapes from happening in this situation. Of course, it has historically been a tool. Okay? I think that's a high-risk reporting. No, I know where that comes from. That last one, at least, that he's referencing is some random lady who said she saw it happen to someone else. Like, the severity of it, the severity of that, it's every single instance here is coming from secondhand.
It didn't even reach the poison.
They haven't been substantiated beyond eyewitness reporting, which is still important. And I'm not discounting the fact that it might have happened. Okay? I'm not. It's from a recent WAP article.
They're not going to come through here anymore.
I know that
sick.
Washington Post also not substantiated, but reported on the eyewitness testimony. Sexual violence has been used as a weapon. It is completely unacceptable. It is immoral. There's no liberation aspect there. It's also a racist canard. For sure. That like these guys are like rapist barbarians, especially when like you look at the situation at hand and you think like, okay, so in the midst of all the GoPro footage that's readily available in the atrocity propaganda that Hamas made, that Israel has so willingly shown the world over and over again whenever the support for their endless siege is diminishing. None of which shows any of those crimes, but also what it does show is a chaotic situation where there's constantly fucking bullets whizzing back and forth. In that circumstance, being able to like, once again, I have to respond by, I have to frame this by saying, I am not discounting that there might have been rapes on October 7th, okay? Rape is used as a tool in warfare regularly against women. Sexual violence is absolutely something that is utilized. It's just that I don't know how they would have, in that chaotic situation, been able to do a gang rape in the way that they are, in the way that some of these eyewitness testimonies claim was happening. Like, I just look at it from the perspective of not that, like, it's impossible. Not that they would never do such a thing. These guys would never do such a thing. Hold up. You have to stop fucking stop calling rape a tool? Wait, what do you mean? No, it is sexual violence has been utilized as a tool in warfare to oppress whoever your enemies are, 100%. That doesn't mean that it is like what are you saying? They use it as a tool. It's not. I'm not making a moral judgment here. Obviously, my moral judgment on it is that it's wrong.
Bro,
what are you talking
really
about?
Just love to not understand.
Where do you think the concept of raping and pillaging comes from? I'm not saying it's useful, dumbass. I'm saying it's completely horrifying. I said it's horrifying and not permissible in any capacity. What? That last one, Bet is stating there was a man with that witness who said she made up the story. Yeah, that last one is completely unreliable.
But the good news for Hamas, they never have to do their own selling. As always, their fellow travelers in the coalition of the oppressed, including their cheerleaders in the legacy media, do it for them. The legacy media have no regrets in their pro-Hamas coverage over the course of the last few weeks. In fact, they admit as much.
Good.
Here, for example, was the BBC's international editor, claiming that the BBC has been doing a stellar job despite provoking international riots on behalf of Hamas, thanks to lies and false reporting about supposed Israeli human rights violations. Here's the BBC's international editor saying we've done an amazing job.
Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy to claim that the BBC is pro-Hamas. Okay, here, I'm going to say something. This is the Amy Schumerification of Hasbara. It is an utter failure because your expectations as a spoiled, petulant child of the Western media to lap up whatever fucking IDF narratives are being hastily put together to only to be discredited shortly after, okay, has caused you to live in this environment where the expectations of the average American or the average Westerner does not match your own petulant, childish, arrogant expectations of mainstream media to consistently be a mouthpiece and a stenographer for Israel. Okay? He literally is just like, BBC, pro-Hamas. Everybody knows that. It's like, no, dog. No. Everybody fucking sees exactly what's going on. If you run up and say BBC is pro-Hamas, you are going to lose most people that would be on your side otherwise. They're going to be like, what? I don't know. I mean, I think that they've done... Seems like they've been pretty pro-Israel.
I've got to ask you about the hospital on the 17th of October.
Al-Akhli. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I love that he is mad about this guy.
The BBC was
Also, he said which one, because, again...
criticised heavily for its reporting of that event. Tell us what happened that night, and, you know, bluntly, where were you getting your information, and do you regret anything that you said that night?
So it broke in, I suppose, mid-evening. And to answer your question, no, I don't regret one thing.
This is so fucking disgusting, dude. The fact that, regardless of whether or not it was a literal fucking Islamic Jihad rocket or not, the fact that people are bullying Western journalists who literally uncritically report on everything the IDF says as though it's the God's honest truth, okay? The fact that they are doing that right now and being like, wow, it's crazy. Do you stand by your coverage that you thought the 6001st bomb also was from Israel, especially because Israel had bombed that specific hospital before, 2 days before? The doctors had been threatened by Israeli forces, that Israel kept subsequently bombing other hospitals immediately after that.
Okay,
do you
freeze?
Do you apologize for thinking, yeah, this 6001st bomb is also from Israel?
A little bit more poison
I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Poison
I feel like I'm losing my mind when I hear these guys go, how dare you? How dare you immediately think that, you know, this was also another Israeli bomb, which, by the way, hasn't still been yet to be proven that it's not, okay? Yet to be proven. Are there suspicious circumstances here? Absolutely. Obviously, the impact of the crater, suspicious. Doesn't favor an Israeli missile strike at all. As soon as I saw the crater, I told you the same thing. Are there other suspicious circumstances here, like the Palestinian authorities not showing fragments of the missile? Yeah, that's incredibly suspicious. They have done this in the past where they showed fragments of a missile to prove that it was absolutely an Israeli missile. There is no circumstance in which there will not be a fragment. It doesn't happen. However, having said all of this, it does not matter. Having said all of this, it does not matter. The assumption that this was yet another Israeli airstrike is so fucking valid. And anyone who tries to tell you that it wasn't, that you're wrong for making this assumption, that you're anti-Semitic for making this assumption, is psychotic. You're the most insane person on the planet, dude. Yeah, the fact that they said, like, salt upon the water, the missile is disintegrated. Yeah, exactly. It's 100%. It favors the suspicious ways in which they have retaliated. That is not how they've retaliated in the past, when it 100% objectively is an Israeli rocket. Makes this situation come across like the fact that this could be a rocket misfire. I said this on the first day. Problem is, the idea that this was used for a week or multiple weeks on end and still talked about to this day when Israel is blowing up motherfucking hospitals, it blows my mind.
No.
Like, what are we doing here? What is it? That it's only not allowed?
Fuck. Okay.
Like, every single fucking Palestinian that Israel has killed, okay? Thousands of them. Tens of thousands of them at this point. If this was an actual misfire, if this was an Islamic Jihad misfire, 100%, okay? Let's say it is. That's the only time it's not allowed? Only Israel gets to kill Palestinians? Like, what is the argument here? What is the argument? You know? Meanwhile, they're like, Al-Shifa is a fucking Hamas base. It's a Hamas base. It's a Hamas base. It's a Hamas base. Over and over again. Then they're like, yeah, I guess they sealed the doors before they left months ago. Okay, so why did you fucking strike the hospital over and over again, asshole? Why? Here, this is a great example. Here. There won't be a Gaza left and people will still show up to debate this. Why the fuck are you still stunlocked this, Hassan? You're the only one entertaining weirdos by still interacting with it. No, it's because Ben Shapiro brought this up.
My reporting, because I think I was measured throughout. I didn't raise to judgment.
But you said that building had been flattened.
Oh yeah, well I got that wrong because I was looking at the pictures and what I could see was a square that appeared to be flaming on all sides. And there was a, sort of a void in the middle.
No, this is speaking about that same misfire, the geese in a trench coat.
Three
geese in a trench coat.
I hate that they're bullying this dude who is literally,
good name, by the way,
like pro-Israel in his coverage. I've seen his coverage, okay? His coverage is 100% pro-Israel for the most part. But also, dog, ask yourself why we didn't have immediate on-the-ground reporting. Ask yourself why the BBC does not have immediate on-the-ground reporting. Ask yourself why the Associated Press doesn't operate outside of fucking Gaza. Ask yourself that question, you dumb fuck. Maybe it has everything to do with Israel refusing to let foreign press in or personally targeting them. Personally killing them. By half 100 at this point. 50. 50 of them have been fucking assassinated by Israel.
Fuck. Okay.
We're halfway to a 100. We're closer to 100 than we are to fucking 0 at this point. Damn, I can't believe that, like, perfectly accurate information does not come from the ground because the occupying force that is a belligerent occupier that is indiscriminately blowing up the entire fucking strip has rendered any kind of media from coming out impossible. They've made it impossible to fucking actually cover and report what's going on the fucking ground. Oh.
There's a picture taken from a drone. And so, we have to piece together what we see.
The media aren't backing down from their...
Fuck you, Ben. Fuck you. It is so... I said this on the BBC when I went on the BBC. I said this exact same thing. I said, you should have not apologized at all for your reporting on the matter. It is fucking ridiculous that people are trying to gaslight you into saying that you're in the fucking wrong for assuming that the 6001st bomb was also going to be fucking Israel when the real reason why you can't have immediate information on the ground in real time is quite literally because of Israel. The fuck do you mean? They shut off the communication. They shut off the access. They kill fucking journalists regularly. They've bombed all these fucking hospitals, including the one that they claim they didn't bomb this time. This time it wasn't us. And then people go, wow, I can't believe you didn't report on it immediately with the assumption that it certainly wasn't Israel after it was Israel over and over again. Why the fuck would anybody think that it's not Israel? What are you, fucking nuts? When did you go on the BBC source, please?
Oh my god.
I don't know. It's online somewhere. Someone uploaded it. They screen recorded and uploaded it. But I was on BBC World, and the lady before me was like bullying the fucking anchor about. The lady before me was bullying the fucking anchor about how like their reporting on the Al Ahly hospital is totally fucked up and anti-Semitic, and it's like, dude, it's not anti-Semitic. Shut the fuck up. Even if they got it wrong,
let's see.
Okay, even if the BBC got it wrong, which by the way, ironically, my haters forget that like that's where I was getting my information from, BBC, Al Jazeera, and the like. You know what I mean? Because they all fucking originally said.
Oh yeah, why is he platforming the BBC,
why the fuck
dude?
Wouldn't they?
Oh my god, the hordes are coming in. This is insane. Rip my bitrate. Hopefully it looks okay on your side, chat.
Does someone have a link to this Google? Anyway, Ben Shapiro is revealing the fucking perspective here, though, to a T. He's openly reveling in it. It's awesome.
Pro-Hamas propaganda, not one iota. So even as this hostage deal went through, for example...
Dude, no. It's not pro-Hamas propaganda to
why is that wolf
assume
just not
that
oh, no. Okay.
Israel's 6,001st
L
bombing
run.
campaign was still Israel and not Hamas.
Dude.
That's fucking insane. That's crazy. You can't say it's pro-Hamas propaganda to like make accurate assertions. It's like looking at the Israeli account.
Why isn't the
flexing that they dropped
enough?
6,000 bombs on Gaza literally like 3 days prior with all of Gaza reduced to rubble. Photos of
not
them.
at all a CPU
Photos
intensive
of all the
game at
buildings that they've
all.
destroyed. And going, well, this is pro-Hamas propaganda. It's like, bitch, Israel's doing pro-Hamas propaganda then. What the fuck do you mean?
These are really
anyone
good.
Anyone and everyone.
But these done.
Anyone and everyone.
These are really
at
good
this
though.
point
Okay, I'm gonna go though, chat. I'm gonna go to
that
bed.
unconditionally responds
I know,
to anything that the
I'm not
IDF
gonna
says
restart
with
next
like,
time.
oh,
I'm not gonna restart next time. I'm gonna continue from here. I've tried to like play this game full through every single time. Every single time I get too tired, because the rounds are long. I'm gonna have to finish this tomorrow. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna send you all to On Your Leftist. Be nice. I think On Your Leftist, Emma uses any all pronouns, but it was they them, so just use they them. But yeah. Anyway, thanks. Banger after banger non-stop. Thank you, Foreign Sticks. Look, I'm glad that you guys are. I just want to keep it nice and cozy. You know what I mean? Just got back. Well, enjoy watching Valorant with On Your Leftist. Alright, everyone. Keep well. I'm gonna go to bed. You kept nice and cozy. I'm glad. Nice and cozy is always